Stop spending hundreds to thousands of dollars a month on shorts editing. Instead, let AI do it for you. So Submagic, they used to do AI editing like this on their platform, but they've just released an API, meaning videos like this, exactly this one in fact, can be made using an AI workflow just like this, where I don't have to do anything, fully hands off, and it will just automatically get my videos and edit them. It even has a variety of workflows where it can automatically generate your video using HeyGen and then upload it to YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn. If you want the full video of that, let me know. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the AI editor workflow. So this video here was actually made using HeyGen, so it's completely AI. Everything here has been hands off for me. And this is the result of the video from editing. I'll just show you a little bit. Part of a transformer model, but what even is a transformer? Simple. A transformer is a type of AI model architecture that changed everything. It's what powers ChatGPT, Claude. There you go. Pretty cool stuff. Now this here, the way that it actually works is inside of my Google Drive, I just upload and put the raw footage in here. Then this workflow in n8n, which is an AI automation tool, and don't worry, we'll show you step by step how this all works. Basically, you upload that and then it will automatically detect it here. It will then send the footage to Submagic, where once it's done, Submagic will then come back and tell n8n it's done, and it will upload the file or download it and get the file, then upload it to the edited folder in my Google Drive here. And there we go, these are the ones that I've been testing around with. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to set all this up. Let's get into it. Quick side note before we fully create this out. Cdance is an AI video generator, right? Veo3 is also another video generator that you've probably heard of. Now the cool thing here is you could get like this workflow that I created in Veo3. You can get that Veo3 video generator to then upload directly to here. You can then have Submagic pull that, edit the video, and then as I was showing you with the different integrations here, you get it to then like upload to YouTube, for example, all in one workflow. So super cool stuff. Anyway, let's get to the tutorial. So the three platforms we're going to be using today are Google Drive, this here. We're going to be using Submagic, which is the HTTP request node, and n8n, which is the platform all of this is on. So n8n, to sign up, you literally just need to go to n8n.io, maybe even n8n.com actually. The n8n.io gets you there. There will be a link in the description as well, which gives you a 14-day free trial. And then once you sign up, you'll be able to come and create this. So if you start, you'll be here, and then you won't see any of this stuff because you won't have any made. Click Create Workflow up the top, and then it will open up a blank one of these, and then we'll move from there. So if we head over to Submagic, you want to sign up to Submagic. And in Submagic, you go to this integrations. Now in the integrations, we can open up this here. Download that workflow, you will then have it here. Now, we have two ways we can do this, which is cool. So if I open this up here, this is the code, the JSON code. Don't worry about this. If you don't know how to code, don't worry. Everything's here, that's fine. So basically, we have this JSON code. You can either Command A, Command C, so copy that and paste it in here. And there we go, which is literally the same thing. Or another cool way to do it is what we can do is 3 dots up here, and you can import from file. And then if we go to downloads, and under your downloads, we'll go to the most recent one here, and we can pop that open. So that will then open the exact same thing, just like this. So you have everything open now. Now you need to hook it all up. So the two things we need to set up here are the HTTP request nodes and then the Google Drive nodes. So for the Google Drive, we have to sign it up to a Google Drive account. Now you can click New Credential, and you'll see you have all this stuff here. So you need a client ID, a client secret, blah, blah, blah. Now, you can go to the docs up the top, so open docs. The n8n documentation is really, really good because it's a tool kind of built by developers for people who are getting into development or for kind of developers. Then the documentation is really good because they know who they're making it for, basically. Now, in here, you just follow through all these steps one by one. It will take you maybe like 5 minutes to set it up. We're going to make a Google Cloud account. I'm sure you probably already have one. If you don't, sign up for the Google Cloud account. And then once we're in here, what we have to do is we need to create a Google Console or Cloud Console project. enable the API, configure your OAuth consent screen, create those credentials, and then pass them in. So if we go to Google Cloud here, go to cloud.google.com, let's open up the console, so top right here. So from Google Cloud, we want to go and create a new project. So in this project, we'll just call it ABC, that's fine. Then click create, or maybe ABCD. Click create, and now we have created this project. It will just take a second to create. If we select this project, you see up the top left, we are now here. So the next thing we want to do is enable the API. So we want to enable the Google Drive API. So if we click on this here, you see enable. We want to enable that because it will then let us connect to Google Drive. So once this is enabled, we then want to configure our OAuth consent screen. We can see here OAuth consent screen. Click on this. And then from here, we want to click Get Started. Now, we want to give it a name. ABCD is fine for mine. And then just use your email. Click Next. The audience, we'll just do external. Click Create. Oh, email in here. Bam. Next. Agree. Continue. Create. So now basically this is creating the screen that you would ordinarily use to then log in. So like if you click Sign In with Google, it pops up. The thing that pops up, that's an OAuth consent screen. So we have to create this OAuth client. And then here, give it a specific type. So it's a web app. Name of the web app, that's fine. And now we need a redirect URI. So we click here. And now we need to paste something in here. If we come back to n8n, we can see we have this OAuth redirect URL. So once it goes to this login screen on Google, logs in, where does it go next? It goes here. So we copy that. Come back to here, paste that in, click create. So now if we open up web client here, we can see that we have the client ID, which we can copy that, paste it in here. I'll just paste the, that's the wrong one. Let me paste that in here. And then we need the secret, and we go back here, click copy on the secret, paste it in here, and then you click sign in with Google. And then you can follow the steps to sign in with Google. Close that. And that's you. So you now are connected to Google Drive. Now that you're connected, let's head on over to Google Drive. And inside Google Drive, I want you to create a Submagic folder. Now inside this Submagic folder, you create two more folders, raw and edited. So you click new, and then here you click new folder. Don't click folder upload. I do it all the time by accident. Click new folder, give it a name, raw, and then edited. So when you come back here, folder from list, we can then select raw, so from all of your different folders that you have inside of Google Drive. So that's for the first one. For the second one, this one is exact same stuff, but you want it to go into edited here. There we go, it's exactly the same kind of thing with the same credential. Now, let me explain to you what each of these are. And you've probably seen it this way because that's the way that it uploads. But basically, what this does here is this first one is your raw footage. So you're now connected here so that it can get your raw footage whenever you upload, because you can see here that it says it pulls every minute, so which means it checks Google Drive every single minute for changes involving a specific folder, i.e. this folder, and it's watching for a file being created. That's why here you'll see it has that orange lightning bolt. That means it's a trigger. So once that's triggered, so once something happens, this next node is run, the HTTP request node. So if we open that up, what is it? It's a post to projects. So basically, you're sending a message to Submagic saying, listen, it's me, and I've got this video, I want you to edit it. Now, how do I know that? Because it's going to this URL, but if we scroll down further, we can see this JSON here. Now, this JSON, if we open it up, is what you're actually sending to Submagic. So you're saying, here's the video URL, the language I want it to be in, here's the title of the video, whether you want magic zooms or not, so zooms in and out, whether you want B-roll, and how much B-roll you want to be on the video, maybe not much, and then the webhook URL, so who do you go and tell when you're done. Now, in here, the webhook URL, the way we get that is, if we come back out, this webhook here is the other trigger. So this workflow has two triggers. One of them is when you upload something, And the other trigger is when Submagic's done and it wants you to then upload again. Whoops, I forgot. Apple does that. So we have the webhook, and this is it in here. And this webhook, which is essentially just a way to, it basically listens. It sits and listens for someone to shout at it or send it a message. You have a test URL and a production URL. Use production URL, because when you use test URL, it means you have to click run, and then it will only test it once, so it will only listen one time, and then it will be done. Production, it can always listen when it's active, and when it's inactive, it won't listen at all. So production, you copy that, we come back to here, scroll down, and then you paste it in here. And that's it, it's that simple. So you're thinking, send this to Submagic, how does it notice me? Well, that's by using an API key. So we can see here that for authentication we have this header auth and we have Submagic API. Now, the way that I created this is you go to create new credential, give it a name. So, for example, in this one, it's not actually what you think the name is. It's something else. I'll show you in a second. So here you don't just say like, oh, I don't know, Submagic API. That's not the name it's looking for. It's for the actual variable itself. So if we come here to the Submagic docs, which is really the really good documentation, you can see that this here, and don't get bogged down if you're not a techie kind of person, documentation is really easy. Just try to look past the fact that it feels like a lot of code. It's really straightforward and really handy. So we have this here, which is get templates. You can see on the left which different methods you can call. So you get requests, so getting information, post requests, which is like pushing information up, posting it up. We want to go to create project because that's what we want to do. And on here we have authentication, and the name is X API key. So let's copy that. And I've missed the X, but that's fine. Go X and paste that in. X API key is the name that it expects, so that it knows that's what you're talking about. Now the next thing we need is the API key itself. So for this, if we go to, let me see, we'll go to Submagic API, I'll log in, and from here, if we go to integrations on the left, and then we can go up to the top and click Manage API Key. From here, go to APIs, we can actually then regenerate a key, and then we can copy it. So I'm not going to click it, but click regenerate, it'll give you a key, come back over here, paste the value in, click save, and then that's you now have that credential in here that you can use on any workflow, which is great. Now one thing that I'm going to add in here is if we go back to this, scroll down, templates, template name. So template name here, it says defaults to Sarah. Now this template, if we go to here, for example, because this is just one that I've been editing in here, because you can go on and change it after the fact, which is really cool. But you can see that this is the one that it defaults to. Now that can actually be really hard to read, and it may not be the one that you like, so you can choose a different one here, and they've all got different names. So for example, you could choose Luke, or Mark, or Doug, David, whatever you want. So I'll go, for namesake purposes, I'll go Luke. So if we go back to n8n here, and we want to change or add to our JSON, so let me open that up. Comma, we can go, oops, is it template? I'll double check in a minute, but it's that, colon, look, let me go back and check. In the documentation, it's called template name. So let me copy that, and we'll come back over here, and change that to template name, look, and there we go. So now we'll use the look text, or the look font, sorry. Now, this will work now, so whenever I upload something, it will then do that. But I have to make sure up here at the top that it's active. If I set this as inactive, then it's not listening anymore. If I click it active, then it will listen. There we go. So that will then start the edit. Once the edit's done, how do I get it back into Google Drive? Well, we have our webhook, which is this here where it's going. So production one, as I was saying to you before, because it's active. And for that, you just paste that in here, webhook URL. And then after that is triggered, we then get the URL so that we're getting the video. And then once we've got the video, we upload that video to our Google Drive. And it comes up as exported dash blah blah blah, and we're putting it inside edited. And there we go, it's that simple. So let's do a little proof of concept here. So I had previously done this HeyGen one. Let's do this one here, I suppose. What is zero shot? What's this? So what is zero shot learning in AI? So that's fine. Let's download that. And as I was saying to you, if you want to see me actually doing this end to end with like HeyGen and uploading it to YouTube, let me know, because it's just the flow will be a bit longer. I'll have to customize it, but if that's something you're interested in, let me know and we can do that. So let me go to raw and we'll move this up here. Now we can see down here that it is uploading. Perfect. And if we go back now to our n8n workflow, now to see what's going to happen here, if we go to executions, the executions will then come up here. So go back to Google Drive. This will just be finished uploading, and once it finishes, we will get an execution here. Now, one thing you need to know is, if we go back here, you have to make sure that this share, so share for the folder, is set to anyone with the link can be the editor. That's the way, the simplest way at least. Maybe not the most secure way, but this is definitely the simplest way for you to then be able to get Submagic to actually access this. Because if you don't have these permissions as such, if you just have them as viewer or commenter, or no one can look at it, so like there's no access, restricted, then what happens is nothing happens. So that's how I had been testing it in here. If we go back to home, I'll leave without saving. You can see that a couple of these are blank. Now these blank ones are because I tested it, but nothing was happening. Why? Because it didn't have access to the folder to come and get it. Now, you need that for raw, but you also need it for edited as well, because it's going to be uploading to edited. So share, anyone with link editor, and just call it. That's it. I was going to say copy link, but you don't need to. All good. So let's see. There we go. Out of executions and back in. And we can see now here, August 18th, that's today. And it has run this. Nice one. So it's found the Google Drive file. Here's all the information. And then it has put it up here. HTTP request has gone up. That's cool. So now if we go to Submagic, we'll be able to see it in here. So let me refresh. But you can see here now that it's uploaded that file. It's going to start editing that and doing all the cool stuff. So yeah, let's actually go in. I can show you that. Let me move because my camera's in the way. Copy link. And what we can do is, this is kind of like a roundabout way of seeing it, because you can't open it yet because it's not open. But if you get the link, you can actually watch it happen. So what is zero shot learning in AI? It's when a model can handle a task it's never seen before. So we can hear it, we can see it, stuff's working, but there's nothing here. And that's because it's still doing its magic. Then it's Submagic. Pardon the pun. Dad joke. But hey, I'm a dad of two now, so I should be practicing the dad jokes. Oh, I must just be done, because you just seen that other one pop up. And this one should be for the webhook. There we go. And it'll have uploaded it to the edited one. If we up here, there we go. Maybe take a minute. Yep, it's just processing. But if we come back to Submagic, we should be able to refresh the page and open this one up now. You see it's exported. Very cool, man. So let me click on edit. And there we go. So we'll have a look at it here, and then I'll go and check it out in Google Drive. So what is zero shot learning in AI? It's when a model can handle a task it's never seen before without any examples in the prompt. You don't train it on that specific thing. You just describe the task in plain language, and it figures it out using what it already knows. As you can see there, just how powerful this is. If you're used to normally making like properly engaging videos, I don't recommend making a clone one unless you have something specific purpose for it, because otherwise you're just adding AI slot to the internet. Let AI speed up your workflow. Don't try and look for an AI job that you never had before. That's kind of the way I would normally recommend learning AI. So like, don't make shorts if you've never done them before. But anyway, that's by the by. Basically, now you no longer have to pay for editors, because I've been paying, hundreds of dollars a month for editing, and now, thanks to Submagic, you know, it's all done for me, you know, and I don't have to worry about, you know, how long it's going to take them either. Because the one problem I always have, I'm so impatient. I make a video and I want it now. I want it yesterday. I don't want to wait 24 hours, man. That's crazy. But anyway, we can't Google Drive. Let's refresh. Should be here now, surely. Still uploading. Ah. Anyway, it will exist. It will eventually exist. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see the full extended version of this workflow, where it actually goes away and it uploads to YouTube, etc., it can even create the clone video using HeyGen. I've seen a couple of cool examples of how to do that. So getting like a green screen overlay of you talking about something, that can be a handy one. Sitting at your desk like this is probably not the best, but whatever, you know. It's all learning how to use AI. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.